Diadich, Mokara. Hello, God be with you. How's it going? I'm Rob. Welcome to the live stream. We're going to talk about Donald. Well, I don't want to talk about Donald's tax plan. I mean, this is big news. It is big news. It made it through the House. It's going to the Senate. I feel like everybody needs to call and say, stop kicking old people off of healthcare in America. Just call your representative, okay? You got to do that. But there's some sad news. I've had quite a few people come up to me and ask me if I'd heard about it, and I hadn't. So we're going to talk about that. And then, does anybody know why Donald Trump's specific... Hey, what's up, Curtis? What's up, Curtis? Good to see you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell if you're new, if you're just joining the family. Much appreciation. And then I want to talk about the news that there were rumors swirling all weekend. Did Barron Trump, stupid name, did Barron Trump, it's almost like a name a movie villain would give his kid, Barron. Like, what is he, some fucking Eastern European villain? Why would you name your kid Barron? I don't know. There's kids named like Persephophopolis, Snuffleupagus, River, Peanut. I don't know. I'm not the one to judge, you know. My name is a verb, so who am I to judge? But Barron. But the rumors are Barron got rejected by Stanford and Harvard, and maybe that's why Trump's going so hard at Harvard. Because hey, what's up, Kevin Hawthorne? How's Florida treating you? Good to see you. But it's funny because as someone smarter than I pointed out, they said, you know, Trump's going after Harvard. He doesn't want these international students to go to Harvard. But he's not going after every other university. Like, isn't it weird that he's like, Harvard can't have international students. But if these say, and he's saying because they're like a threat, right? The international kids are a threat. But can't these international students just go to, I don't know, North Shore Community College right down the road? Couldn't they go to Tufts? Couldn't they go to, I don't know, BU, BC? It's so funny that Deficit Donald's going after Harvard. But then when you start to hear the rumors that Barron, who got into NYU, he's going to their business school, that maybe he got rejected from Harvard, and now Trump has focused his attention and vengeance and his wrath. Hell hath no fury like a Donald scorned. But now it starts to make sense. You know, it makes sense. If Barron, dumb name, not the one to judge, but dumb name. If Barron got rejected from Harvard, it would make sense that Trump is going full bore at Harvard, like trying to take away their funding, trying not to let them accept international students under the basis of, like, you know, is a danger, even though those international students could go right up the road at Tufts, or they could go to Bunker Hill Community College, or I don't know, wherever you want to go. What's up, Liam? So I want to discuss that, and I want to, more importantly, get your thoughts. Do you think Barron tried to get into Harvard, Barron Trump? Do you think he tried to get into Harvard and got rejected? And old Daddy Trump, you know, he's got that ex-wife energy. Donald Trump's got ex-wife energy, scorned ex-wife energy. That's what he brings to the table. You say anything bad, and he's like, I'm gonna take all of your paycheck in alimony. I'm gonna take everything. I'm taking the house, the dog. It would make sense. Ultimate Trent. Thank God it's not mediocre Trent. Thank God you're here, Ultimate Trent. I was waiting for an ultimate, you know. We've had legendary Trent. We've had subpar Trent. We just haven't had the Ultimate Trent in here, and now he's here. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, everybody. I am Rob. I do a live stream every single weekday. Memorial Day? For who? I'm still working. Hey, you know what? And I want to take a moment, because I know everybody like celebrates Memorial Day, and most people have it off. But I would just like for everybody to take a second and understand that service workers, your nurses, your doctors, any kind of first responders, Walmart, you know, all those essential workers that are so essential they don't want to pay them enough so they could buy their own home. Propaganda by corporations. Oh yeah, you're essential. Oh, then give us a raise. No, not that essential. We'll wait till the robots come. But I just want to take a moment and say, have some, if you're going out today, have some respect, appreciation, love, compassion, and empathy for all the people who are out working today. I just got off work. My wife was going to work, or she wanted to work. So all the people that are, doing the jobs that are very thankless, just, take a moment. I'm not saying tip them or anything like that, but just be more patient. Try not to get frustrated. People are doing their best. And when most people are out, I don't know, at the beach, I don't know, what do you guys do? What are you doing right now on Memorial Day? What are you doing? But when you're out enjoying your life or visiting a family, just know there's a lot of people that are working just to get by, just to keep their health care, just so they don't starve. And that's here in America, not in some third world country. That's here in America. I say if our country is great, then everyone should have these days off. Shut it all down. Shut it all down. That's what I loved about New England. I moved to California, and you could, like, Christmas Eve, you could go do stuff. Thanksgiving shit was open. Here in Massachusetts, my wife was a little shocked. Here in Massachusetts, I mean, they changed it recently, but Thanksgiving, nothing was open besides a pharmacy. Addicted to YouTube. Hello. Good name. That's a very honest name. I like that one. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. I comment on the news for you, and we have some fun, and we're very sarcastic, and we joke a lot. We're all just a bunch of little Luigis, aren't we? Looking for our way in the world. Everybody's got a little Luigi in them. Little green-hatted player 2. Rob, what's up? Or I'm Rob, you're Alyssa. What's up, Alyssa? I'm sunburnt. You made it to Florida. That's amazing. East or west coast of Florida? I like the east coast of Florida, but there's nothing like the west coast of Florida. Although the west coast people are, typical Floridians. And the east coast, you find a lot of east coasters on the east coast of Florida. And then that center of Florida, you get the amalgamation of like part part alligator, part human, all swamp. They're crazy. Your skin, you gotta wear the sunscreen. Andrew Mangione, everybody, right? Free Luigi. Today on Memorial Day, I'd like to tell everybody, remember the 4th of December. Our hero, an innocent man framed by the corporations that are corrupt. But no matter, he's a hero to all. And he saved millions of lives. Because after his accusations, they rolled back anesthesia time limits. So remember that, people. Remember that. All right. Now, has everybody hit subscribe and then the notification bell? Do you need anything for me to pray for you? C. Rook, that is very kind. Just pray for my YouTube channel, that it keeps growing. Because I love the family that we have here, like people like you that come in and say, hey, can I pray for you? That's very Jeezen of you. And that's cool. That's cool. And I like that. I like when the only people we can be angry and mean to are the 1%, the powerful, the ones who are saying, well, it won't affect me, so why should I care? Those are the people. And I know Jesus says to love your enemies. He says, give them what they ask, and it will be like pouring hot coals on them. But what we've come to find in this society is that the gluttons of greed, the powerful, the people who have billions of dollars, too much money, they can't spend it in a lifetime. They have foundations to give away all their money before they die. Those people don't care. You can give them everything and they'll ask for more. So we need to take a stand. And that's why I tell and teach my children and teach everybody that I meet, know your rights. Because if you know your rights, you'll know where to stand your ground. If you don't know your rights, you don't know where to stand your ground. All right, so let's get into some news. Did anybody else hear about the rumors that Barron Trump, stupid name, but who am I to judge? Barron. I know there's like oil barons, but every time I say Barron, I think of like a woman being barren. Does anybody else think that? Like, I'm like, is he going to be a barren person? Is he going to have no children? Or do people hear it as like, how do you hear the name Barron? I'm sorry. I don't mean to critique a young kid. I'm not trying to be a Charlie Kirk and dunk on fucking little kids. I hate that about him. But it's more of a critique on his dad. Like, his dad is such a glutton for greed. He wanted to name his kid Barron. And all I can think when I hear the name Barron is like, oh, that poor woman is barren. And I feel so bad, but every time I say the name, I'm like, he's barren. Oh, Mark Arujo. Hello, good to see you. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We're commenting on the news. That's what we do here. So did anybody else hear that Barron? He's a barren Trump. He has no money. He's barren. That he got rejected from Harvard. Anybody? No? Maybe I'm just too deep in the news. I'm knuckle deep in that news. I should get out. All right, if nobody wants to talk about that, we're going to briefly go into this story. Heads up, this is a very tragic, horrific, heartbreaking, I don't even know how to explain this story. This story, I think it happened last week. It happened very close to where I reside. And a few people have brought it to my attention. And they asked me, hey, did you hear about the student, the middle schooler, the 14-year-old who unalived himself due to bullying at a school? And I had not. And people kept bringing it up to me and saying, oh, you didn't hear about it? I was reading about it, you know? And I had not. And I finally read about it. And it was the most heartbreaking thing. Because, number one, I have intimate knowledge of that school system. Number two, no child should, it's hard for me as a parent and as a human to think bullying is good for any child, you know? I'm not talking about like teasing or friendly, you know, whatever you want to call it. Like, you know, that coming of age kind of, I don't know how to describe it because it's not bullying. I'm talking about like targeted, mean-hearted, malicious bullying. That should never happen. And teachers should be paid a whole crap load more because they are the front lines to identify this stuff. But more importantly than just identify it, like they have to step in. That responsibility is huge. And that is part of their job. And I think teachers are severely underpaid. I hate seeing teachers have to do Amazon wish lists for supplies when we can militarize the local police. I think it's so bass-ackwards that this society is okay with, you know, having a SWAT team in every town, but teachers, you know, pleading for pencils. We got our priorities wrong. But in this scenario, I don't know too many of the details, and the mayor, who I have issues with, has not commented. The superintendent of schools, who I thought was very kind, has not commented on this story. But this 14-year-old kid, after being bullied, decided that's it, if you know what I'm saying. And if you struggle with this, and that's the other thing why I want to talk about this, because there's so many people who have come to me, not just through the live stream, but there's so many people in my personal life who have come to me and confided that they've had these kind of feelings. And right now, it's very normal to feel distressed or depressed. Right now, the world is hectic. Right now, the powerful people feel like no one cares. But there are people who care, and I care, and that's why I'm talking about this. And more importantly, if you're in a situation like that, I did put down in the description, you can call 988 to talk to somebody. I didn't have the number before, but 988 is a crisis helpline. And it's sad to me that, you know, like this regime, Donald's regime, is cutting people who work at the Veterans Affairs helplines, crisis lines, because those are lifesavers for when people are in desperate need. So I don't think any of those services should be cut. I think, you know, we should be cutting from other places, but the world is not hectic. Your mind is. My world is bliss. Okay, Kevin, well, that's good for you, but you have to be able to recognize that a majority of people would say the world is hectic right now. Many uncertainties. That's why so many people were worried about the price of eggs. In a stable society, people are not worried about the price of eggs, okay? I completely, and I'm not projecting, Kevin. What I'm asking you to do is have some critical thinking, have some understanding, and have some empathy. Empathy means, oh, you're one of these maggots. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to deal with you asshats coming in here and going, my mind is bliss. Stop projecting. It's like, bro, I want you to understand something. I'm talking more than a handful of people have come to me to confide that they are stressed out about the world. When you have the richest people in the world laying off thousands of people are losing their jobs. When you have the richest people in the world who are cutting taxes for the wealthy and making the poorest pick up the bill. When you have the poorest people in the world about to, or the poorest people in a country about to lose their health care, it is stressful. I'm happy, and this is the difference between maggots and people with compassion. I'm happy that your world is blissful. I want that for everyone. And to not recognize that a majority of this country is stressed out about some kind of financial thing or another is just stupid. And I'm not saying you're stupid, but I'm saying the words coming out of your mouth are making you look stupid. So choose better words. Because I just don't entertain that. You can come in here and act like a tough guy. Want it for everybody? I would like everybody, when you live in the wealthiest nation in the world, what I would like for everybody is to everybody to have a stable life. Not have to worry about basic things like the price of eggs or healthcare, which if you just ask people in other countries if they have to worry about medical debt, they'll tell you we don't. So those kind of basics. Oh, another maggot, then work for it. You understand there are people working 40 hours a week. There are people working 60 hours a week that still go into medical debt, that still can't afford rent. So this is okay. If you can't understand what I'm saying, then I'm sorry. My apologies to the fucking morons out here that are like, just work 3 jobs. I know people who work 2 jobs and still can't afford a home, who still stress about that stuff. So we are far from the wealthiest, in more debt. Oh, yeah, well, of course. What I'm saying is we have the wealthiest people in this country. We have long been praised as one of the wealthiest countries, but it is a facade. It is fake. We have wealthy corporations. We have trillion-dollar countries who won't pay their employees to work a full-time job and be able to afford to live. And that bullshit, just so you know, I don't deal with racism, misogyny, homophobia, transphobia, what else? All that bullshit, I won't deal with it. But the other thing is the classist thing. I won't deal with people who are like, work 3 jobs, work 2 jobs, suck it up, buttercup, get an education. It's like, yeah, everything is, you understand it's rigged, right? You understand, in America, this is how old I am. In America, you used to be able to work 40 hours a week and still buy a home. So if you're trying to propagate and push out that bullshit, just work another job. Just work another job. Just work more. And then you'll be able to afford maybe a little something extra. It's like, no, man, I'm pushing for an America where if you're working 32 hours a week, you can live comfortably. You don't go into medical debt. You don't have to worry about college debt. It's not that you have to have 2 jobs. It's that you shouldn't have to. Thank you, Mr. Pushup. That's my whole point. My whole point is like, I know people working 2 and 3 jobs. Most of the people I know do. And it's not enough. And the people who think like you just work a second job, I did it. And they don't like to tell you like, oh, they lived at their parents' house. Their parents helped them with babysitting. They get, like they had this generational wealth helping them the whole time. And I'm telling you this because I've experienced it so many fucking times. And I'm just sick of it because America shouldn't be great because we have the biggest military. America should be great because you can work 1 job, not have medical debt, get a higher education, buy a home. That was all the great stuff about America, and it's disappeared. And now you got other workers telling us, just work another job. Why? Fucking why? What kind of life is that? Oh, shit. I didn't want to go down this tirade. I just watched a documentary about the younger generations are worse off than we were in the Great Depression. Gave me a lot of insight, analyticals. Yeah, meditate more. Yes, I agree. Meditate You could do a ton of stuff. Timothy, thank you. Clean air, water, food, and shelter should be a human right. This is what I'm talking about. If you can't comprehend that and you want to come in here and tell people to work harder, get the fuck out. This live stream is not for you. I hate to be brash and vulgar, but it's just not for you, okay? I'm beyond that. I'm beyond the work another job. I'm done telling people who are working their tail off, who are just barely getting by, I'm done telling them work harder. If anything, they deserve a vacation. They deserve this day off, and most of them are working. So get the fuck out of here, okay? I don't have time for it. I know you're the toughest guy in the room, but unfortunately, I guarantee you, if we dug into a lot of these people's stories, they're living at home and they're working 2 jobs and saving all their money. I've met so many fucking people that drive me absolutely bananas because they're like, you just work another job and save up. And it's like, where do you live? Do your parents get to babysit your kids? Have you ever had to struggle? Have you ever lived in a car? But we're neither here nor there. The reason we went down this road and I had to go on that diatribe is because I want a baseline. I want people to have compassion and understand that people who are working 40 hours a week or more, or 32 hours a week or more, should not have to get another job. You know what? You should be turning that anger and that whole work 2 job things, you should be flipping that and saying, why aren't these companies paying us enough to afford to live in our own communities? Not we should work harder. They should stop hoarding all the wealth. And once you start getting that, then come back here, okay? Then come back. But I'm sick of these people telling people they're not working hard enough. I know so many people who work so hard, and none of them need to get another job. They need the jobs they have to pay enough to live. And this is like mathematic. You can go mathematically. Just in the past 5 years, our money has lost 25% of its worth. So if you haven't got a raise in 5 years, your money is worth 25% less. And I'm sure it's more after all Donald deficit tariff Trump's stuff. But the reason I'm going into this is when I get tough guys coming in here saying like, my mind is bliss, suck it up. You got Trump derangement system, which Trump derangement syndrome is really a thing that these cultists have where they can't critique or they pretend like their life is bliss and everything's just fine, but they voted for the price of eggs. They voted for a guy who said, I'll bring the egg prices down. I'm like, I got news for you. Any society that is hinging its elections on egg prices coming down is fucked. Okay? If you're like, well, I'm voting for the lesser of 2 evils, and one of these clowns said he'll bring egg prices down, so he's got my vote, and then that guy scams you out of all the fucking shit you've got, like, bro, I hate to break this to you, but America is crumbling, okay? We're far from a beacon of hope. We're a crumbling nation. We're laughed at by the entirety of the world, okay? No election should hinge on egg price come down, please. Oh. Hey, what's up, Solus? Good to see you. Another echo chamber. Jason, you're welcome to get the fuck out of here. You are welcome to go to Ben Shapiro or, I don't know, Tim Pool's podcast. Like, you're welcome to leave. Oh, you're so welcome. But I wanted to talk about this story, and that's why I got into saying this is a tragic story. And there's a lot of people who are having a hard time right now. And if you're not, just shut your fucking mouth and be thankful you're not, your life is bliss. Like that other chatter was saying, and I had to put him in timeout. Sorry, I had to put him in a timeout because I'm not going to be sitting here while they're saying how tough they are and everybody else is a fragile snowflake. It's like, yeah, as soon as I start critiquing Trump, you show how fragile you are. This story is very sad because it was a 14-year-old who ended himself because of bullying. And that school system, I have personal experience with it, and I don't know who was involved, but I just know those teachers could be rough sometimes. And it's extremely sad that any child would feel so desperate as to do this. But I think also collectively as a society, you know, so many people make fun of, like, it's just weird. Because nobody wants to be politically, or everybody wants the political correctness stuff to leave, right? And you hear people like Elon Musk say comedy is legal again, but then as soon as he starts to get bullied, like he says, which I don't think you can bully the wealthiest man in the world, I'm sorry, you know, they start to cry foul, and they say, it's unfair, I'm being victimized, and they start playing the smallest violin for themselves. But I would just like to think that us as a society, we really got to look at things when we have kids feeling that kind of despair. And it takes a community. This isn't just about parents. This isn't just about bullies. This is about us as a society. That's really when I read these stories, I go, where did we fail? Where did we all fail? How are we all not responsible? And I don't know, because you hear these people, these fools, these idiots, like Jordan Peterson reference, like, ancient time, or Joe Rogan. They love to talk about back when there were tribes and we were cavemen and like all this tough philosophy of like how we were and what's imprinted in our DNA and all this bullshit. But what they don't realize is, like, listen, when we lived back like that, we lived as a community. Even if you go back to the founding of this country with the Pilgrims coming here to Massachusetts, they had to live as a community. They had to be tight-knit. They all felt responsibility for their success or their failures. They all did. Go read books about it. It's so fascinating. There's a great YouTuber who breaks it down. But I just want to implore people, because, this might be so far from you. It's right next to where I live. We know kids in that community. We know the teachers. We know how many people are probably affected and how many people feel responsibility. But when people are getting angry and wanting, I have beef with the mayor for different reasons, but he should be coming out and commenting. But outside of the mayor, I think every parent in that community needs to have that conversation with their kids, needs to feel some kind of responsibility, because if your community is suffering, it's not this rugged individualism, this America where it's like if you just work 2 jobs and just do it all on your own, which is bullshit, by the way, because even people like Trump, he's a Nepo trust fund baby. If Deficit Donald didn't have Fred Trump to give him everything that he has, he'd have nothing. And they like to omit that from the story. But the truth is the greatest communities are the ones that work together. And people love to praise it when it's like good things. And they're like, oh, look, we came together for this. But when it's bad things, they hate to feel any sort of responsibility or looking at ourselves or how do we make things better. And I'm not saying these are the answers. I'm just saying our way of thinking needs to change. No wrong. He built businesses. You know nothing, dude. Sky Wonderly, you are so dumb. Every business he built. Sky, do you enjoy Trump steaks, Trump water? Go to Trump's casino, fly on his planes? Every business he tried failed. I mean, he's the king of bankruptcy. But if you really dig into his story, and I urge you to, you'll understand that he got nothing outside of what his dad had already established, his dad's empire. Oh, he's a heartless leader and he's dumb. And if you love Deficit Donald, this isn't the place for you. Okay? He's a scam artist. He's selling access to the presidency. And he just cares nothing for you. And he's showing it in real time. Hey, what's up, Terry? How are you? Mel Lee, but Elon is still a billionaire and you're not. Oh my God. And that's the high-class commentary I get from the muskets. Oh. I just don't understand what the comment is. You're jealous, you wish you was Donald. Why? I don't wish to have cheated on every wife that I had. Have, an ex-wife buried on my golf course. Be so insecure that anyone who says any kind of critique, I have to attack them full force. I would hate to live like that. Honestly, watching him live is like, just, it's like it's a story. It's a, what is it called? It's like the pinnacle. It's like the role model of exactly how you don't want to act. Because I don't know if you've seen anyone critique Donald and how he reacts. He reacts like a woman scorned. He can't take even in interviews, he gets upset. He pitches a fit every time somebody doesn't agree with him. I would hate to live like that. You can disagree with me. You can't agree with stupid people. Good luck with the crazy folks commenting. Yeah, I know. Number 1 Eagle fan. He without sin cast the first stone. Ricky, you should tell that to Donald. Seriously. I'm well versed in what Jesus says. Hey, thank you, Lauren. This guy even looks like a liberal. Appreciate that. If I had $1 billion, what would I do? AD, I've said this for a long time. I used to be on the radio. And I always said if I had that much money, I would buy the land back from Oprah and Mark Zuckerberg in Hawaii, and I would give it to the locals. I would deed it to them. Because when I lived in Hawaii, and my family who lives in Hawaii, well, most of them have moved, but for my family that is local to Hawaii, they have been displaced by wealthy people like Mark Zuckerberg and Oprah coming in, buying up tons of land. Read about it. Read about Mark Zuckerberg and what he's done with the island of Kauai. Read about the island of Lanai, how it's basically bought by a billionaire. And when I was growing up, you could only go there if you had a family there or you knew someone local. And it's devastating to me to see the locals who have lived there for a millennia being pushed out of their land and living homeless on these beach encampments. It breaks my heart. And also some rich white prick can just build a big treehouse fort for himself. You know, people, that's their sacred land. So, Ricky, if you're going to come in here and try to talk to me about Jesus, bro, like, just comment, okay? I'm well aware of what Jesus said, and if you think, like, trying to get me to fucking follow what Jesus said, well, you got people like Trump out there, like, go spend your time telling the Christian right these things, okay? Because I do my best to walk that walk all the time. And you see these people, do you think it's Christian to be giving a tax break to the wealthiest? Do you know what Jesus did when he was flipping tables, when they turned his father's house into a fucking den of thieves? They turned it into a market. This is my favorite part of the Bible. The only time you see Jesus flipping tables, because those capitalists came in, he said, What did Jesus say, right? Gather your things and sell them and give the money to who? To the poor. So just don't come in here and try to lecture me about that, man. I read the Bible every fucking day. And what I'm tired of is these Christians coming out here, these Carolyn Livets and Pam Bondis putting their cross out here saying, oh, you know, we're not lying to you, while they're full-fledged lying to you. Well, they're doing their best to hurt the most vulnerable. What did Jesus do with the most vulnerable? Did he say, let's take all their money from them? Oh, that's a blind guy in one eye, let's blind his other eye? Is that what Jesus said? You guys are so twisted. Don't try to hold me to that standard. Go hold your demigods, your golden calves to that standard. Absolutely criminal what they've done to the natives in Hawaii. Oprah's white? No, but she buys land like a rich white guy. Oprah's got white colonizer tendencies, ain't she? Remember when the fires happened in Maui and her and The Rock were like, we started a foundation, we put $2 million in. Mind you, they're worth like billions. Oprah's worth like billions. And Oprah's like, me and The Rock started a foundation, we put $2 million in. Could you raise some money? I was like, bitch, Oprah, you own 2,000 acres on Maui. Just open up your land to everybody displaced. She owns 2,000 acres on the island of Maui. Ugh. What's up, Gma? Good to see you. Much love. Don't forget the Sermon on the Mount when Jesus had to give equal time to the healthcare. Logan Reed, you almost made me pass out. How could we forget when when Jesus was going, oh woe to you hypocrite Pharisees, and he said, but now I need to give the floor. I recede my I recede my time to the Pharisee lobbyists and what they have to say. Holy shit. Thank you, Logan. oh my God. That's so funny. Mocking Jesus. You oh man, I wouldn't want to be friends with you. You sound like a very unfun person. And it sounds like, Ricky, it sounds like you're judging me. I knew we would get there eventually. Ricky, what did Jesus say about judging? Thou not judge. Didn't he say, he who has not sinned can cast the first stone? Ricky, are you throwing stones in my lives? My favorite, though, is when he said it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven, right? Ricky's in here casting stones. Oh, what's up, Terry? Heal the sick. Jesus, that's great. But do you know, heal the sick, but we should also charge a copayment. That's what they omitted. I think some king back in the day omitted Jesus taking the copay from all the lame people he healed. Todd, did mommy bring you your Hot Pocket to turn on your Game Boy last night in the basement and kiss you goodnight? Oh. Guys, you know, like, you don't have to come here. You're more than welcome to go to like a Ben Shapiro live stream or something. I don't know. I don't know, like, I don't know why. It's so funny. Like, these people like Trump derangement syndrome, but they will seek out anyone who's talking about Trump just to attack them. Like, they're not critiquing any of the things I'm saying. Well, Ricky is. Ricky is saying like, oh, you're judging people and swearing while Ricky's judging me. But I guess hypocrisy is one of the right Christian's greatest weapons. But it's just so funny that, why do you keep mentioning Ben? I mentioned Ben because I think a lot of people that I have known that are like, oh, I listen to Ben Shapiro, they think he's smart when he's like the dumbest person. He's such a dumb little daddy's good boy. But it's so weird that these people think Trump derangement syndrome is somebody critiquing the policies of the wealthiest, most powerful state in America, and they don't see that they are like seeking out, they're actively like trying to find anyone who mentions Deficit Donald's name to just attack them personally. Like, and I got plenty of people who come and do this. It's so funny. I'm like, guys, calm down. You know, you guys should start a live stream where you're just like, all hail the supreme leader. And you could just say all the beautiful things you love about him. He's a big, beautiful, perfectly in shape, 6'8", 100-pound, toughest guy in the world. You know, you guys can start a live stream and just glaze Donald all day. Amber, I'm guessing you're a maggot too. You should look in the mirror before calling anyone stupid. He's definitely your papa, Diesel. He's definitely your papa. He owns you guys. You guys will do anything for him. And that's the saddest part, you know? Due process is gone. He's trying to rewrite all the laws. He lied, cheat, and steal. Cheat on his wives. Meanwhile, all these people are like, we believe in Jesus. Really? Yeah, that's why we don't like certain things, because the Bible says so. What does the Bible say about adultery? Have you heard what Donald said about his daughter? I'm pretty sure Jesus would consider that adultery. Cut off your hand, right? Isn't that what it says? Oh, it's Wes. Oh, wait, Wesley was the other one. Politics leads and continues to revise religion, so it makes sense how one's feelings get entangled. Stay spiritual. I like you, SA. He has nothing to lose. That's 100% true, Terry. Why don't you go do a backflip, Monahit? You go do one. Go do a live stream. Set up your camera and just start doing backflips. We'll be there a couple hours. Have you seen the woman calling the trad wives of Donald? Oh, Diesel. Your daddy, we're not disputing it. This is not about, see, this is like the simplistic mind of the MAGAs. They're like, well, these libs can't get over it. Well, number one, I'm a leftist. I'm a socialist. I believe in worker power. But number two, we're not arguing about, I'm not sitting here. This is the funniest part. Remember, you guys for 4 years said not my president? I'm not doing that. I'm critiquing what he's doing. He's selling dinners, crypto dinners to the White House. He's writing a tax bill that got passed through the House that cuts taxes for people in the millionaires, and it raises taxes for the lowest classes, and it's kicking the most vulnerable off of health care. How could you support old people getting kicked off health care? Can somebody answer that? One of you maggots, can you answer? See, Diesel can't even see. This is why you guys don't get respect from me, because this is how you answer. Nobody has a real conversation. You guys like to spit out Fox bullet points, and when I ask you, like, why do you support old people, the most vulnerable, getting kicked off their health care? What do you support about that? And they just go, yeah, keep crying, lib. Go dust the truck nuts on your truck off. They need a good dusting. Diesel. We need higher taxes for rich people. You're right, Wes, but that's not what Donald Trump's doing. You think Elon Musk spent $270 million to get his taxes raised? Do you think Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg all donated to him so they could get their taxes raised? No. Donald works for them, not you. I know you think that. And it's sad. He's tricked all of you, but history was, we'll save the live stream. We'll come back. We'll say, no, you were saying this. History will tell the tale. What bill was passed to take health insurance? It's called it's the most dumb name. They called it the Big Beautiful Bill. If you go last week, I think it's my Friday live stream last week, I linked the congress.gov, the entire bill, the entirety of the bill. You can read the whole thing. It's over 1,000 pages. But there's like the Congressional Budget Office who breaks down like what it will add. They said it will add 3.8 trillion to the debt. Remember when Elon Musk and Donald were saying, we're going to cut the deficit, we're going to cut all, that's why they laid people off. Well, it's going to add like 4 trillion. And then there's even, I put it in the link today, there's even reports now saying that 4 trillion that it's going to add to the deficit isn't even close. They're saying it might be 6 to 7 trillion. So this is what I mean. They're just lying to you, folks. They're lying because they're gluttons of greed. Rick Moranis. Rick, what does the Bible say about greed? Is that one of the 7 deadly sins? Has Donald altered the Bible? His Bible made in China, did he alter it to say it's only 6 deadly sins now and greed isn't one of them? Tax breaks for tips and overtime are really directed at the billionaires. No, Grant, they're a distraction. Because the people who are getting those tax breaks for tips and overtime, it won't fucking matter. Because their taxes in this bill are going to get raised. And they're going to have harder work requirements. And if they can even get on state health care, they're going to get kicked off. Not to mention the tariff war, Trump tariff war, that is raising prices everywhere. So that is a distraction. This is the quintessential distraction. But again, I'm glad you bought into it, Grant. You bought into it so you could repeat, hey, there's no tax on tips now. Yeah, mind you, the servers are making the least amount of money. The least amount of money. If Donald really cared about people, tipped workers, you know what he'd do? Raise the federal minimum wage. You know why he's not doing that? Because he doesn't work for you. He works for the corporations that aren't paying people enough. Oh, it's exhausting. I always stayed out of politics until the rainbow people started. Diesel, we can tell you stay out of politics because you haven't added anything to the conversation. See you later. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, even if you disagree with me. Isn't that the beautiful thing about free speech in America, that we can disagree, that we can have a conversation and not agree? I know a lot of the MAGAs don't like anyone disagreeing, and they just all want everyone to say Donald is the best and we don't critique anything. Meanwhile, they're saying anyone that complains has derangement syndrome, which is just hilarious. But I like to have conversation. I like for people to have some dialogue, and more importantly, to be aware. Don't be like Diesel. Diesel said, I stayed out of politics until the rainbow libs, which I don't know what that means, because again, I'm a socialist and I'm a leftist, but I highly encourage you, because politics, if nobody's taught you this, when they say don't talk politics, religion, everything in this country, from where you cross the street to what the speed limit is. It's all politics. To what you're paid, to what you're taxed, to the laws, to when you can buy certain drinks, where you can drink things. All of that is politics, folks. My teacher in high school told me they're passing new laws while you sleep. It is all politics. So the people telling you not to speak politics, stay out of politics, they don't want you to be informed so they can rule you. So don't be like Diesel, okay? Diesel admitted. He said he didn't know anything about politics, or he still doesn't. He just said he stayed out of it. So I encourage you to be informed, all right? Sue, oh man. SU34, I'm just going to tell you once, like, no racism in here. None. None. Don't come back. Don't come back. Do not come back. Do not come back. I'm not trying to be tough. What I'm trying to do is inform people. This is what I mean. These maggots think, like the Joe Rogan crowd, think everybody needs to be tough. You don't. You just need to know your rights. You need to stand your ground. You need to support your community. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get people to understand that if your community's suffering, you don't take away from the people who have the least. You look and go, well, who is greedily spending hundreds of billions in stock buybacks? Oh, the corporations that aren't paying people enough. And you say, well, how much are they taxed? Oh, they're paying less taxes than us, a lower percentage tax rate than we are. Oh, we should maybe tax them because they're no good for our community. But you don't go after the most vulnerable. You don't. And until we start to understand that, it's just going to get worse. Just going to get worse. All right. Yeah, killer. That's what I mean. Like, are you a tough guy? That comes across like a tough guy. Tax the poor. They're already doing that. Like, God, I just don't understand. Some of these people are just like, God, it's sad. I feel bad for your neighbors. That's all I'll say. I feel bad. I feel bad for people that think this is cool or tough, or maybe they're like 18 and just, I don't know, man. We're in trouble if we don't try to stand together. And Blake and all these maggots, you guys know, like, actually, I'm glad you're here. I need the watch time. Oh, it's funny. Solus, Terry, Curtis, everybody who is stopping by the family, I thank you guys. Much love, much respect. And I think that, once people get out of their selfish, rugged, individualist, I've done it all on my own, even though they didn't, mindset, I think we could get to a better place. But I think until we start, changing how we think about things, we're in trouble. Oh, Gma's still here. All right, guys, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, come back, and we'll discuss more news tomorrow. But again, it hasn't been confirmed. The rumors about Barron Trump being rejected from Harvard, and that's why Trump's going after him. Because you can't say you don't want international students coming to Harvard because it could be dangerous, yet those same international students could just go to colleges in the surrounding area. Like, it doesn't make sense. So why do you think? Thank you, Richard Fulmer. Appreciate you. Inesco, you guys upset that I got dandruff? Like, I don't understand. Do you guys think that's an own? It must be a bunch of like 20-year-olds in here. You guys are funny. Come on, man. Come up with something funnier. I'm just letting you guys hang out because it's getting me. If you guys are gonna troll me, go ahead. Tire yourself out, keyboard warriors. Tire yourself out. I'm just trying to get a few more watch time minutes. I'll sit here while you hate on me. I'm fine with that. Hairline joke. There we go. Yeah, is my hairline fucked up? It is. But I really, Liz, I'm too old to give a shit about how I look. Sorry. if you think I care too much about fucking your mental state, that you can't hear what I'm saying. You can't hear. I can't get through to you. But I did. Oh, that's the other thing. If you're new here, especially all the trolls, listen, I link things in the description. I don't know if you could read or not, but if you can, I encourage you to go read about this big, beautiful tax bill that's being passed. It'd be good for you. Stay away from that Jesse Waters on Fox News, all right? Terry, don't feel for me. I love doing a live stream, because even when the people come in and try to hate you because you're critiquing their daddy Donald, there's a lot of people we can reach. And I think it's vitally important to reach out to people and have them hear. This is the thing, though, that these trolls, these maggots, don't understand. I like to say this to people, is I'm planting a seed. They can't unhear this. Some people might be too, what's the word, ignorant to fully comprehend what I'm saying, but a lot of people, you can't unhear something. It's just like if you watch a scary movie, you can't unsee that scary movie. It's with you, okay? So you can't unhear these things, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to plant seeds, get people to think differently, and maybe all these people are just exactly who they say they are in the comments. I'd like to think not, but if they are, then they're walking around slamming doors behind them when old people are walking out and just, flaunting like a fucking peacock, and that's fine. There are those people, and you just stay away from those people. But I like to think that a lot of people see what's going on in this country and say, there's got to be a better way. Especially if you're familiar with like Michael Moore's Sicko and how other countries do things. I'd like to think that there's hope for us. So that's why I do this. And AG. Yeah, it's funny. All the people who said Biden's really old. And I'm like, you understand, Donald is his age. Like, you didn't vote for some 20-year-old. Stay away from all cable news. Correct. I would say watch Status Coup News here on YouTube. They're doing amazing coverage of the Luigi Mangione case. And I would say watch Democracy Now! You can watch them on YouTube. Those are two pretty good, reliable news sources. But yeah, cable news is all... Remember, corporate news, their whole narrative is to fit their corporate profit scheme. Everything needs to be for profit. So they will never inform you in a way. Why would the oppressor teach you how to not to stand up against oppression? They will never do that. There we go, No Name. Who let you glue pubic hair to your face? That's a fight. There we go. Now we're getting some good trolls in here. Come on, bring something funny. Oh yeah, Kamala would have watched us burn. Like we're doing better under Trump. Oh man. And I love that we've never been a democracy. Yeah, but most of the time we've had some kind of due process, or we were always striving. Even the times we didn't have due process, we were striving for it. This is one of the first times where they're actively like, no, you don't get due process anymore. We're getting rid of habeas corpus. No. So, you're right. Look at Bill Maher. Oh, 100% Bill Maher. But listen, I've never thought Bill Maher was like on the left. If you ever watched his religious movie, my biggest issue is like these comics and so-called intellectuals like Charlie Kirk and Bill Maher. Bill Maher in his religious movie, he went to like backwoods Tennessee and was dunking on these people who clearly like weren't as educated as Maher. Just like Charlie Kirk. I never understand how Charlie Kirk promotes videos of him like dunking on college freshmen. I'm like, Charlie, you got to be in your mid-30s, right? Imagine some dude in his mid-30s going to a college campus being like, bam, bitch, I'm smarter than you, college freshman. It's like, yeah, I would hope so. This is not proof of you being an intellect. This is like Just fucking weird. It's so weird that like Ben Shapiro, Charlie Kirk, their whole platform is centered around dunking on 19-year-olds. It's like, bro, 19-year-olds need to be taught. They need to have a conversation. They don't need to be the thumbnail of a YouTube video with someone dunking on them. I don't understand how people think this is like cool or a high intellect. It shows like fucking how dumb you are. Especially the ones where they struggle against college kids. Like, anyways. No, professors do not make their career on YouTube videos saying, I'm smarter than you. Professors teach the kid, like, oh, but Jesus. Hilarity Bribo. Tell me that was a fucking joke. You understand the difference between college professors, teachers, and people who go to dunk on freshmen. Oh, God. Okay. Oh, my God. You understand the difference, right? Oh, oh, my God. Okay. Oh, my God, Bait. That's a great question. Oh, yeah, RJ. They try to dunk on him. That's the whole thing, right? It's a bunch of college freshmen inviting him out. You fucking moron. You understand, like, that's his whole thing. Go to his YouTube channel. There's a ton of shorts where he sets up. He sets up at college campuses. Why do you think he's setting up? For them to try to dunk on him? He's going there. Like, this is what I mean. Even your perception of it wrong. You're like, oh, no, he just happened to be on a college campus. Why is a 30-something-year-old at a college campus randomly with a tent and security? Why? Like, really, critical thinking, folks. God, just God gave you a brain. Use it. And that's my advice for you today. God bless you. Much love. May your day be bliss. Happy Memorial Day. Hit subscribe and the notification bell. Much love. Peace.